you have the foundational section, that's first. Then you have this is the foundational section right here, from here and here. So this is your installation, that's what's considered your foundational section. And then you have up in here, this is the scalp area. So this is considered the base or the new growth area. So what do you have right here? You have your foundational section, which is the actual lock that hangs off of the scalp, and then you have the base, aka your new growth. So the foundational section ends up turning into a lock. That's what she means. After 1 to 2 months, the foundational pattern, the pattern of the foundational section will disappear and then turn into a lock. The locks are installed. 4 to 6 weeks later, the new growth will emerge from the scalp. This is considered the new growth right here. And then she speaks of the foundational section. So this will be the foundational section right here. So you start off with foundational section. That's foundational section. That's number 1. That is what you start off, your initiation or your install will be. So whether that's through braids, twist, interlock, or whatever you have started with. And then she talks about the new growth, which is right here. This is the base, which is the hair that is just growing above the scalp. Okay, and then she talks about the lock. So the lock is the foundational section that started off as a braid or a twist that eventually lost that pattern and turned into a lock. As the new growth emerges, the foundational section will condense, shrink, and lose its pattern. So that foundational section, that section that's considered the initiation or the install, will eventually shrink, and on top of shrinking, it will also lose its pattern, therefore forming a lock. She goes on to say that the lock will be considered to be an anchor. So that anchor is the foundational section that turned into a lock, which she describes as the platform network of woven hair. So that woven hair is woven in over time by the lock process. So she says it's crucial to the inner matrix of the lock core. So right here, she's just saying that in addition to the outer part that creates that lock, there is also an inner core. And I can go over that a little bit later after we're done with the book. As the hair is locking, that anchor is sending signals. It's establishing the foundation of the lock. So that's that transformation that's taking place. It's losing its pattern that you initially started with, and it's going into the form of the lock. So the new growth is going to follow suit. She also says when installed, the foundation of the emerging lock, which is through braids, coil, or 2-strand, is just a hairstyle for about 1 to 2 months. Again, she's talking about transforming that twist or however you started into a lock. It's transforming on its own. It's starting to be an interwoven network. On the average, after 2 months, hair will begin to lock, and this simple foundation will dictate the direction of the future lock, and the maintenance or tightening technique will mold the shape of the future lock.